Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. So it's now Sunday the 15th of December, and hopefully today's the day where the Allegro cooling repairs are finally going to be sorted. So let's get on with it. So that's the old fan switch that doesn't work properly. That's the original one that does fit properly. I just left that in there after I couldn't get the replacement one to fit last week, but I've got another replacement one just down here, and that's exactly the same as the one that's just come off, so that should be all fine. And the main problem last week, as you know, was getting the bracket on, but now that this switch should be the right one, hopefully we shouldn't have nearly as many problems with that. As you know, my thumb took the brunt of the punishment last time, and it is more or less better, so hopefully there's no recurrence of injuries. So let's give it a go. Well, that was refreshingly really easy, literally 20 seconds. I've also wrapped it, as you can see, with some insulation tape because the rubber attachment's gone all horrible and I haven't got a replacement at the moment, so that'll do for now. And I'll probably go on the forum somewhere and see if someone's got one of those rubber covers for me. I'm sure they'll be around somewhere. So next stage is to get a socket, take off the filler from the thermostat housing and put some new coolant in it. So according to the manual, this car takes 4.1 litres of coolant because it also has a heater. You have to consider that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just under 2 litres of this stuff in, blue coal, and then obviously the rest of it's going to be made up of standard water. Right, so that's the battery all on and connected back up again. The reason why I took the battery off is because it was just before the cold snap that we just had, and I knew that the car wasn't going to be used for a while until I got this problem fixed. So I just thought, let's just take the battery off, keep it in a nice warm house so it's not going to be subjected to any undue stresses. And it also makes, as you can see, it much easier for the expansion bottle to be fitted. I don't think you can fit the expansion bottle with the battery in situ anyway, so it's allowed the job to be a bit easier. So what I'm now going to do is hopefully start the car up and bleed the system, because when you put new coolant in your car, as in you've completely replaced it, you need to bleed the cooling system to get rid of any airlocks, otherwise it won't cool the engine properly. And what you need to do when you're doing that is to leave the lid off the expansion bottle and either have that loose or have it off. I'm going to have it off just so I can inspect it, but also I'm going to squeeze some of these coolant hoses so I can get rid of any airlocks that way. And also what you should do is turn the heater on to maximum so you can circulate the water through, because obviously the water runs the heater as well. So let's see if it starts after a month. So I'm in the car now, interior lights come on, which is good, so as the battery's connected. So let's get choke out and hopefully happy me. All lights are on, that's good. Let's try it. Okay, one go. Let's try a second time. Nearly. There she goes. Let's choke a little bit. Right. Let's get the heater on. Just here. Put it on hot. And let's have it on windscreen first. So you can see in there some bubbling, and that'll be all the air working its way out. Get you in focus, there we go. So I'm just going to squeeze tight, just to get rid of any air, minding your fingers on the alternator obviously. And what I've got to do now is wait until this gets up to temperature, and hopefully also the fan will kick in around about that time as well. So you can hear the heater whirring away there. I put the cap on, but only loosely, just to give it a bit more chance. But so far so good. Right, that's where the temperature gauge is at the moment, and the fan still isn't going round. I'm still bleeding the system. I'm just hoping that the fan kicks in soon, because if it doesn't, then that means the problem probably isn't fixed. We'll see. Right, so that's where it's at. It's been there for a while actually. It's been sitting idling. I've now got the heater off and I've tightened everything back up and put the lid back on the expansion tank. The fan still isn't coming on. I don't know whether it's got to get any higher for it to kick in. I'm not sure, but I'll take it for a drive in a minute, just because it's not had the chance to stretch its legs for a while, and we'll see what's what. So I'm just taking it out for a quick spin at the moment. Yes, I know the problem's not fixed, unfortunately. I've sprayed the connectors with some contact cleaner, and I've actually pressed the connectors together as well when the engine's running, and that does turn the fan on. But then as soon as you plug them in, as they should be, the fan just turns itself off again. So quite clearly power is getting to the switch, so the only conclusion I can draw is that it's another goose switch. So I probably need to get on the Allegro forum and see if there's any better ones I can get, whether there's any replacement clips I can get, because when I tried to fit the Series 3 one the other week, which apparently is a better quality switch, that doesn't fit with the clip and bracket system that I've got on my car, so obviously I need a different way of attaching it. Doing a nice local drive is a good way of also seeing how hot this is going to get on the journey as well. At the moment it's just above half of the gauge. I'm just going to see how hot it actually does get. But I miss driving this so much. I'm glad to get a brief drive in it, because I want to turn its wheels over. I don't want to leave it parked up for ages, particularly now that I've put the battery back on it. But it is really annoying, as I'm sure you classic car people out there can imagine. When you have your classic, you just want it to work. You just want to take it for a nice little drive and use it for normal stuff. But unfortunately, with this fault it's got at the moment, I don't want to take it anywhere where there's risk of traffic, because I don't want it to be in a traffic jam and it starts to overheat, because that really would not be good news. But I'm just so ready for it to be fixed today, and then I was going to use it for work next week. But it doesn't always work like that, does it? But it gives you guys some content, and at least it means it does now have fresh coolant in it, which is a good thing, because the old coolant was really not very nice, as you guys saw in my video last week, so at least that has been sorted. But it's still running as sweet as ever. Engine purrs away lovely, gear change is nice and smooth. So it's still as brilliant as it was. I just want this last little problem fixed. Something else that I have noticed, and somebody on here might be able to give me some advice, is I noticed that when I had the heater on, directed onto the screen when I was reading out the system, I noticed that the passenger side of the windscreen, the heater for that was fine. That was kicking out hot air, but the driver's side one wasn't. So I don't know where that's a sign of trouble, or where that's just the fact that it's an old heater and sometimes they can do that. I'm not sure. So any thoughts about that would be greatly appreciated. Bit of jeopardy, a little bit of traffic, which isn't what I wanted, but fortunately, I can turn off here and just head back home. Gauge is currently reading about 3/4. So, bit of jeopardy, but I'm out of traffic now. So hopefully that means that I've just shows just how nervous you can get in a car that hasn't quite got a fully functioning cooling system. And I don't want that jeopardy whenever I take it for a journey. So it just isn't worth it. I need this working properly before I can properly use it again. I don't want to take unnecessary risks, because I don't want to get stranded or damage the engine if it gets too hot, because that would be a massive bill. Avoided a problem there, and it's about 2/3 on the gauge now, which is okay, but I know the fan's not working, so in any substantial traffic jam that would rise very quickly. But hey ho. I hope you can hear me properly as well, because this is the first time I've done driving footage with my new phone. You can zoom out a bit more than you could on the other one, so that's a really good feature of it. So you can see a little bit more of the car and the interior. It just makes it a bit more of an interesting view. At least this journey showed me that I can still use the Allegro for like local pottering, you know, local trips to shops. So that's a good thing. At least it's not going to sit completely dormant for a while. I'll try and get it out every week like I did before, but it won't be for any substantial journey. Fair's fair, I suppose. So back home now, and as you can see, the gauge is higher than I would like it to be, as it often is, but it's not too bad. It's 3/4, and there was a little bit of traffic involved, but then as soon as you speed it up, obviously more air goes into the radiator and it cools it down. So like I said before, at least it means I can use it for local trips, so I can, you know, keep turning its wheels over occasionally. So frustrating day, but got to see the positives. At least it's more or less narrowed down to a bad switch, unless anyone else on here can tell me any different. Good to get it out again. At least I can use it locally, bit of fun in it, do a bit of shopping in it maybe, countryside drive, etc. So I'll do that. That's why I leave the battery in and everything connected. Put the Honda back in pole position, because that's going to still do the donkey work for the moment, but I'm longing for the day where I can get this back on the donkey work again, hopefully soon. But you know, this is the thing with cars, isn't it? It's frustrating, gets your mood down a bit, but hopefully with Christmas coming up, some good tidings will fall on me in the Allegro, and we can be driving whenever we want to again. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys very soon. All the best. She works. So it's come on when it was just there.